All right, thanks for staying with us. Let's take you back now to the BRICS summit, where my colleague Iman Rapeti is standing by for us. Iman, as I'm going to put it in the words of Minister Wong, who was delivering the address on behalf of President Xi, that the course of history will be shaped by the choices that we make. And certainly as the leaders go for that retreat right now, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of history is going to be shaped out of those talks.
Well, we've already had some signals as to what that history might look like based on the vision and strategies that all of those countries' leaders have shared at the close of the BRICS Business Forum. Just judging from all of the opportunities that exist and the particular view of the eye on Africa that our partner countries have, certainly seems like we're at a catalytic moment in terms of business and trade cooperation on the African continent. I can tell you, Bongiwe, earlier when we got here, the media section, which is where we're relegated to, and you'll see this for yourself when you come on Thursday, was packed to the rafters with journalists from all across the world. And after the stars of the show departed, sadly, the room has thinned out. Just a couple of journalists, our crew included, who are sharing a wrap of the day's event. So let's bring that perspective to our viewers now. I'll tell you just now what's going to happen tomorrow and what's expected. But Dinilohlanga Mekuto is with me. He's our digital news producer. Been watching the trends, and the big trend, in fact, the top trend this hour as we speak at number one is the BRICS Summit 2023. And I think what's interesting is to look at what content is actually driving the trend.
Yeah, it's been the top trend for I think the past couple of hours. The last time I checked, it was at about 40,000 tweets, so people are engaging. But something I noticed on it, most of the people that are engaging on it are people that are involved within the summit, which would be your media people or government media liaison or foreign correspondents that are here.
Yeah.
It's not really the people, the citizens on the ground engaging on it. But there is one particular tweet that seems to be driving the narrative on this whole hashtag BRICS Summit 2023, which is a tweet that was tweeted earlier by Liranzu Themba, who's the spokesperson of Minister of Police. She tweeted something about police drills in the morning. And
right.
People went on, I think the last time I checked, it had about 247 comments on it.
Wow.
So there's both negative and positive. You know how Twitter can be.
Yeah, what's the conversation like?
So she posted this video of police drills preparing to come around Sandton and Gauteng. I think she was talking about police deployment in the province ahead of the summit or in preparation of the summit. Now, people have negative sentiments.
I'm even afraid to ask you.
Please ask me. But what they are mainly talking about is, okay, we see the police now, but when we need them in our communities, we hardly ever see them. We hear excuses like budget issues and not enough human resources for them to deploy police in our communities. So that's what people have mainly been engaging on that particular topic around that hashtag.
It's quite interesting that you say that it seems professional accounts or media practitioners are driving the trend. One would hope when you listen to some of these conversations, some of the promises and the vision that's been articulated by these leaders, that it might capture the imagination of, ordinary, just everyday people. It certainly doesn't seem to have, at least as far as this hashtag is concerned. But there were some other subcategories in the hashtag that kind of drove the content. Some of them were around media itself and the coverage and the comparison between the local and the foreign media. Again, dare I ask?
Do you really want to know?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now on that one, I think it speaks to what you spoke about earlier on, right? How come people are not engaging on it? Maybe it's a reflection on us as the media. Are we informative enough? Are we giving people talking points around this thing or bites that they can chew and understand and engage on?
Yeah.
Because one of the tweets on this matter said, oh, finally, we have a contingency of international media. For once, we're going to hear an unbiased report of what's happening in the country.
So interesting and unfortunate at the same time. As you say, it's about making what's happening here sometimes seem to be quite high level and highbrow, accessible for everyone, and that really is our responsibility as a public broadcaster. I believe we have some tweets to share with our viewers as well. So we'll take a quick look at those, covering some of the subjects you've already talked about: police visibility, the comparison around the media, and what else?
can we talk about the police visibility? Because that was the one that was really driving the
Sure.
engagement on this one. As I had said earlier, it was from Liranzo Temba. This is what she tweeted a while back, I think earlier in the morning. She said, must watch, which was a video, on the ground. These are the men and women who have been deployed in and around the Gauteng area, right, ahead of BRICS Summit 2023. And then obviously people now were commenting on that. Here's one that stood out for me. Just a question. Why can't you protect South African citizens like this every day when we are at the mercy of criminals? And then another one says, your boss is able to unleash all the necessary resources to please their masters, but to citizens, we are told about the budget. So that's what's driving the narrative on police visibility. And I did take a walk around Sandton, actually. There's a huge police presence. JMPD is here, South African police is here. There are even cops on horses, and I try to engage those cops on horses. Hey guys, I've never seen you here. And they said, no, we're always around here. So I wouldn't know, I don't stay in Sandton.
Foolhardy to approach a cop on a horse. You've got to be careful. But thank you very much for talking to us about what's driving the conversation, what's driving the hashtag BRICS Summit 2023. And I think Dinilohlanga makes a really important point, Bongiwe, about it being driven mostly by content that's generated from professionals. It's really important, and this is a message we want to share with our viewers, especially on our comment of the day, is how do you get involved in the conversation, and what do the talks here by these leaders from our BRICS partners really mean for you, and what expression and relevance does it have in your life? This is how we come to the end of our programming on for today's events, Bongiwe, the closing of the BRICS Business Forum. And tomorrow we kick off at 10 a.m. There's going to be a photo opportunity with the BRICS leaders, and the proceedings will then commence here at the Sandton Convention Centre. It's going to be a really, really busy day, but our viewers can rely on the SABC to bring them up to date and developing coverage. It is a wrap from us here in Sandton, and it's back to you in studio.
Thank you very much.